2 down. Keep it going, pilot.
Today we are once again looking to the future of Titanfall 3, this time taking a look at the networks system that was introduced with Titanfall 2. I've got a couple thoughts on how I'd like to see the network system evolve moving into Titanfall 3, but I really would love to hear what you guys would like to see from networks as we move into the future of this franchise. So first and foremost, networks are an incredible creation. They are a really great addition to, I think, any multiplayer experience, and it's actually a shame that more games aren't looking at what Respawn has done with networks in Titanfall 2 and trying to do something similar. Yes, a lot of games let us make clan tags, but when it comes to the shooter realm, specifically games like Titanfall, Halo, Call of Duty, those systems are relatively limited, and some of them actually force players to go outside of the game onto a website somewhere to interact with one another. Almost none of them create an environment like the networks we have in Titanfall 2 do. The ability to boot up the game and see everyone online in your community, whether they're playing or not, to see them if they're in matches, to actually set something like a happy hour that gives people a general idea for when other people are going to be around, and then reward people for getting together at that point in time and actually playing together. It allows you to get together into matches of online play or even private matches without having to directly communicate. And that right there, I think, is one of the biggest strengths of networks, is that you don't actually have to have like face-to-face, voice-to-voice interaction with people, and you can still get together and enjoy a game like Titanfall. And that works really well in this case because Titanfall is, in essence, more of a pick-up-and-play experience. You don't necessarily need to have hardcore teamwork and communication to do well. You can just get together with a bunch of people on the network who seem to know what they're doing and have a good time on the weekend and be rewarded for doing so. It's a basic concept that I think takes networks a long way, and I'd like to see that element continue as we move into Titanfall 3. The idea that networks can become an even more powerful tool where people can start to build relationships, rather than it being a place where they have to have a relationship built just so they can play together. I mean, that's the typical nature that we see in clans and in guilds, is that you gotta like know everyone, right? People have to like get into the guild, you get invited, you show up on their Discord, you talk with one another. You have to do the whole relationship bonding thing before you even play the game with those individuals, and then you can play the game. Titanfall 2 has already gave us a platform where we can start doing those things in reverse. We get together, actually play the game, and then build a bond through that. Maybe you have really good matches all weekend long with the same 3 people in your network. Eventually, you're messaging them. Eventually, you're in a party with them on Xbox Live, or on PSN, or even over on PC, right? Now all of a sudden you're talking, and before you know it, you're on a Discord together. You're getting together in a party every single weekend, inviting more people from the network, growing that relationship, growing that community, and maybe it turns into something far more than that. That is where I really do think networks become very special. So I'd like to see some things that expand on that concept of building relationships. The idea that the leader of a network could, for example, set events up, events that could be viewed in-game. So now when I boot up Titanfall, I don't just see a bunch of people playing in the network, I also see that message center filled with an upcoming event. Hey, the network is getting together this Saturday for a Kraber-only event. The idea that you can actually lock in a custom event like that and have weapons locked out or locked in. The idea of networks tying into the custom matchmaking system could really expand the community power of networks as an in-game tool. So people can actually then RSVP to that Kraber-only match, and it kind of reserves a slot for them, right? They get first go at joining into the match when it starts up that Saturday. This, of course, is a great tool for people who are creators who have a community of following like Derek and the Purple Army, but it's also great for people just looking to, again, find other people to play with who don't have some social following somewhere. They're not a part of a guild, they want to create something, or they want to even find a smaller group within a larger community they're a part of. I think this would be a fantastic way to expand that tool set. And if we could take things a step further and actually, as leaders of these networks, see the roster of our community, scroll through every single player, no matter how big or how small, and actually see how they play, see their stats page, get a general idea of their favorite Titans, their favorite modes, and their favorite maps. That would give us even more options for how we interact with those people, perhaps even allowing us to mark a player of the week. Someone who maybe has put 30 hours in on Scorch this past week. Man, we're getting him a gold star there. Thank you for supporting the Fireman. Thank you for supporting good old Scorchy boy, right? I just see a lot of potential to evolve this as an in-game tool set. Again, something that a lot of games just aren't doing or that they've already abandoned. So many shooters have just said, well, we don't really need that. Setting clan tags is enough. Let people create their own guilds, their own clans out of the game. And again, I totally get that. And it's not to say that a lot of the large communities that exist in the Titanfall 2 community don't have discords and places where they interact, but the network is what brought them together in the first place. They joined the network because they saw someone somewhere else on YouTube join that network, and things just kind of grew from there. It's a great starting point. Again, I think that is the continued strength of networks here, is that it allows people to create a relationship while playing the game rather than having to forge that relationship before they even play the game. I would also love to see networks become almost a replacement for factions. So factions are cool. They're just a small aesthetic element of the Titanfall 2 experience. You fly the flag for the 6-4, for Monarch, for Vincent Dynamics, whatever you might have. But what if you flew the flag for your network? And at the start of a match in Titanfall 3, when you jumped out of that jump ship in multiplayer, you saw things that represented your individual network. You saw an NPC with colors selected by your network leader. You saw a banner and some sort of a symbol within the actual dropship itself, maybe even on your player's armor, that again connected you to that community. Being a part of the Purple Army, being a part of Titanfall Legends is no longer just you repping that clan or that network banner. It's you actually having visual customization options that showcase your network on your character, that showcase your network on your Titan, that are showcased when you spawn in and drop in with your network through those dropship systems. I think this would be a fantastic way to turn networks into an even more integral part of the in-game experience. You know, take it even further away from where it is now. Bring it even more into Titanfall and make it something that people can be proud of. Make the multiplayer an experience that isn't about flying necessarily predetermined in-game flags, but the flags that we create with the members of our communities that we've become a part of. Networks are really awesome, and in my opinion, they can only get better from here. I love what you're doing with them, Respawn. I know a lot of people will agree with me here. Don't stop now. Please don't stop now. Let networks return in Titanfall 3 and make them bigger and better and more badass than they've ever been before. As for you guys, I would love to hear what you'd like to see from networks. As a creator, as a leader of a community, as a member of a community, what are some of the features, some of the things that you would find beneficial to the current network system in Titanfall 2? What direction would you like to see it grow in? What would make it an even better tool for building those relationships and expanding those communities? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
You have been brought here for a purpose, the most important task of your lives.